time. Worry not loading. Time to wrap it up.
Variable elimination. All shall reveal itself.
Leading up to Wuthering Waves' global release, one of the most anticipated teams people were waiting for was Calcharo and Yin Lin. This team was supremely powerful, mainly due to a playstyle called Quick Swap, where they were able to feed buffs into each other constantly while maintaining the best possible rotation for their skills, leading to very minimal downtime as far as damage windows. However, upon global release, this was not the case. Kuro Games decided to change the structure of the game so that several of the outro abilities on characters that provide buffs to incoming resonators no longer persisted through once the incoming resonator was swapped off field. Many people were a little bit perturbed by this, but I believe this was done for a reason. I believe this reason was done for what is called design space. And what does design space allow you to do? It allows you to slowly power creep. And that is why Shorekeeper is one of the most powerful characters in the game currently. Now, let's get into it. My name's Robocon. If you enjoy these videos, please like and subscribe. It helps me out a bunch to grow the channel and lets me know that this is the type of content you'd like to see. So, getting deeper into this, when a lot of people say Shorekeeper is a must pull or a meta-defining unit, a lot of people overlook the fact that the buffs persist through. They think that mainly she is so important because she is a sustain character. But really, why she's so important is because she's a swap-through support character. What's a swap-through support character? I just made the name up. Basically, to me, it's a support whose buffs persist through multiple swaps. This enables quick swap type teams. For example, right now, I have Zhangli Yao, Yin Lin, and Shorekeeper, lauded by many as one of the most powerful teams currently in the game due to the structure of how all the buffs stack on top of each other. Shorekeeper is able to maintain her field that will heal some, and then give a crit rate increase as Yin Lin swaps on after Shorekeeper. And then once Zhangli Yao swaps on, it gives a crit damage increase. On top of this, Shorekeeper's base outro skill increases attack percentage by 15% for 30 seconds. So you're now able to maintain an attack percentage buff, a crit rate buff, and a crit damage buff. And once Yin Lin swaps in, she's able to feed an additional layer of buffs onto Zhangli Yao, increasing the Resonance Liberation damage and Electro damage, both of which he benefits from. On top of that, she has a sub-DPS playstyle or buff ability that allows her to do damage off-field. This is fantastic. The most effective layering that we have in a team thus far. You can do the same thing with Jinzi and Zezi, as that is another extremely powerful team. I would argue that it's easier to get Jinzi's crit rate and crit damage up high enough to where you wouldn't need Shorekeeper or she would be overcapping you, and that is why Verena can be better. Also, the fact that Verena gives some sub DPS to Jinzi, which allows her to restack her Forte gauge faster, even though it's of the same element, and doesn't give the same amount of Forte back as Zezi's sub DPS off-field damage with her cranes. But that's neither here nor there. What I really want to talk about is what these swap-through supports mean for the future of our game. Like I said, I believe Kuro willingly and knowingly took away the ability for Resonator's outro skills to maintain through several Resonator swaps with a purpose. That design space was opened up for them so that now they can introduce that type of thing down the road and it will be highly valued, because having something that allows and enables a quick swap type playstyle is what people want. People want to have that skill expression if they can do that. Now, I'm not sweaty. I'm not really into quick swap playstyle. I like how it is now, status quo, but I know there are several out there that do. Now, looking at Shorekeeper, many people say Shorekeeper is a must pull. Many people say she is not because LOL, dodge better. And while that's a valid argument, I would argue that the sustain portion of Shorekeeper's kit is not the primary portion of Shorekeeper's kit that's important. It's the support portion that allows you to gain all these multiple stacking buffs, that allows you to do multiple swaps when you're using your sub DPS and main DPS, or even if you're using a dual DPS type playstyle with a quick swap between two characters. This is huge. Not many characters in the game currently are able to do this. Verena can with her outro skill. She also offers some sub DPS with her ultimate ability. Yan Wu can kind of do this when he slams down the monolith, and if you stay within the circle, you get the defensive buff. And Tao Chi can do this as well with her shield that she provides. Baiji can also do this with her Lotus that floats next to you, so you can get that, and she also has some sub DPS capability. Her buff windows are just much smaller. So as we can see, not many characters have that ability, and most of those characters aren't highly regarded as top tier characters in a lot of teams. Now to say, are they good? I think every character in this game can be good with enough practice and patience, and you can have them fit into a team that you truly enjoy using them in. But there are definitely some characters that work easier than others. And there are definitely some characters that provide better buffs than others. Because let's be honest, there's a lot of very specific buffing that happens in this game to A, Resonance skill damage, B, Resonance liberation damage, C, basic attack damage. Seems like a lot of the kits focus on one type of damage. Zhang Liao, for example, you want Resonance liberation damage. But we look at Yinlin, she doesn't really have one particular damage she needs buffed. She can benefit from all of them if you happen to roll it. Anyhow, this is something to think about. When you're pulling characters in the future, if you're looking for value for your account, is it a Swap-Thru support? If yes, the value has just skyrocketed past anyone else. This is why a lot of people say Shorekeeper is a must pull over Camellia. We don't know Camelia's kit yet, and hopefully we'll get some information on that before Shorekeeper does leave the pull banner. But if she doesn't offer any sort of Swap-Thru support, if she offers strictly some sort of DPS, such as Zhang Liao, and her outro is just some additional damage ability, or if she's a sub DPS, well, she'll find a home, but she doesn't have the same value as someone that has that Swap-Thru support. And I honestly expect to see Swap-Thru support characters coming more and more often, especially as we progress in the game and we start to look for what is the next iteration of teams. We still haven't received all our Yinlins yet, or our Zezis, or our Changlis, where their outro buffs and elements damage, plus resonance skill, resonance liberation, whatever it may be. We still have several elements to go for those types of characters, so I believe they'll be coming. But I think after that, after we get that niche out of the way for every element, which I think we will do, then the next iteration is going to be either supports that leave an on-field area that a buff can be applied to units within that area, or they get rid of the caveat that it lasts until the next resonator swaps off field. Well, that's all I have for you today. You have a good one.